Shabbat Miketz is concerned with dreams, the dreams that Pharaoh has that are going to impact on Joseph and his life, and of course the dream of the butler and the baker. How are we supposed to respond to dreams? The Gemara in Brachot has a whole section dealing with dream interpretation. And the opinions of the rabbis vary tremendously. Some of them go into the symbolism of what one sees in one's dreams and make associations between the good things one sees and the bad things one sees. What's the difference between an elephant and a monkey in the dream that one may have? There are other rabbis who say that dreams depend entirely on the interpreter. And then there's another point of view, which refers to a certain Rav Hedaya, who used to give good interpretations if you paid him money, and bad ones if you didn't. To me, the most significant of all the statements of the rabbis there in Brachot is that one is only shown in one's dreams what is in one's thoughts. And that's exactly what Freud said, that dreams are a reflection of one's own subconscious mind. Now, this is not surprising. We've all had the experience of something troubling us and then dreaming about it, things we fear about coming up in our dreams. We also know that we remember a very, very small percentage of the dreams we actually have. But the question that we all ask ourselves is, do these dreams that we have ever predict or tell us anything? And is God speaking to us in our dreams? Now, the Torah has examples of God speaking in dreams, but we have a principle that there is no prophecy anymore, and besides, we also know that from Sinai onwards, we rely on the Constitution, on the law to tell us what to do, not on voices coming from heaven or anywhere else. In the case of Yosef, it's possible to say that the dreams he had could have come from his own inner thoughts. After all, the dreams only talk about the 7 fat cows and the 7 thin cows, the 7 sheaves of healthy corn and the 7 sheaves of blasted corn. They don't talk about what advice Yosef should give, but Yosef goes on to give the advice about the 7 fat years and the 7 lean years, and how to deal with them, and how to prepare. It's possible that he'd been thinking about the possibility of famine, and how important it was to prepare for these things as part of his role, either as the administrator of Potiphar's estate or in the end as the administrator of the affairs of the jail. And similarly, he could have analyzed the dreams of the butler and the baker to see that they, in a sense, were feeling guilty about what they'd done, and he could deduce from that who had been negligent and who had not. So I don't think that necessarily dreams do actually, we get, predict the future. But they do help us clarify what we are really thinking, what our inner thoughts are, the ones we suppress and the ones we tend to keep under control. Now, there is a strong tradition going back a long way to the Talmudic period of something called Ta'anit Chalom, a fast when you have a bad dream. What is the point of the fast if you have a bad dream? Is it going to change the dream to a better dream? The only value of a fast is if you are disturbed and you think you need to assess yourself, to reevaluate yourself, and see if maybe you should go in a different direction. But I don't believe in hocus pocus any more than I believe in shadim and spirits, even though they are mentioned in the Gemara. In the Gemara in Gittin, there's a whole section about them. And of course, as I've mentioned before, Maimonides said, they're important only because people did believe in them in those days, not because they actually do exist. But this all shows how in the past and even today, people are insecure, they're uncertain, they want easy, immediate fixes, like a quick fast and then the dream is over, or a quick incantation and all the bad luck disappears. And it doesn't work like that. Our lives are in the hands of God, but they're also in the hands of how we understand ourselves. And dreams tell us that we have to try to understand how our minds are working and how we should respond to them.